Elven ruins. I'm not sure we're even in Orlais anymore. Another Kunari, dressed like the one in the Winter Palace.
They must be from the same faction, both girded for war.
Scorch marks everywhere. This is the work of a mage.
The expended energy is remarkable. I'd say the spell was cast within the past hour.
We need to find out why these Kunari were here and who did this to them. Over there, Kunari. If we want to know why they're here, we've got to get across to that island.
A spirit bound when the elves built this place, because that could never go wrong.
What does it want? I'll try Elven. Andaran Atishan Sadaran. Considered us intruders.
To be fair, we are.
It must have been set to guard something. That was like Veilfire. It claimed this was a refuge for elven slaves.
You mean the ancient elves kept slaves? Maker's breath. One more thing never to tell Daisy.
This whole valley was a sanctuary created by the dreadwolf Fen'Harel. This doesn't make sense. In Dalish legends, Fen'Harel is our god of misfortune. That alluvion only took us a short distance. That's the same lake we saw from the other tower.
So the old elves had many uses for these devices. Wounds on the back, no blood on his sword. Someone took him by surprise.
This can't have happened too long ago. The blood's not even dry. This is Fen'Harel helping former slaves as a mortal, not a god.
He took great pains to renounce his supposed divinity.
Ordinary guy saves people, accidentally founds religion. Sounds a lot like the chant, actually.
To the Dalish, Fen'Harel is the great deceiver. Perhaps that's propaganda begun by the opposing gods.
We're getting the band back together. That's exciting.
We are not a band of any sort.
Just because you can't carry a tune, Seeker, doesn't mean you're not front and center in our band of misfits.
This claims the elven gods were just Evaneris, powerful, but completely mortal mages.
Was this the start of an uprising? Freed elven slaves against their former masters?
If that's true, Fen'Harel was teaching these freed slaves the truth about these false gods.
Are you all right?
It felt like the anchor stung me. This looks like it fits into that pedestal by the broken bridge.
This place is creepy.
Why did those Kunari attack the Inquisition on sight?
Kunari never act without orders. A commander in the Qun must have given them.
Are you saying the entire Kunari nation wants us dead? That's Fen'Harel, removing a Dalish elf's Valisleen.
Isn't this place older than the Dalish?
Maybe the markings used to have a different meaning. hidden weapons. These freed slaves actually fought back against the Evanuris posing as gods.
Elven mages who hoarded power and slaves? One could see parallels to Tevinter's Magisters.
This letter says the Kunari came to these ruins because the Alluvians connect to Halam Shiral.
A staging ground for an invasion?
It was some sort of infiltration. There's no more details.
Darling, this place gives me an idea for redoing the small summer breakfast room at Chateau Ghislaine.
You have a different breakfast room for every season.
A century ago, it was in fashion to have a different room for every meal and every day of the week. When that fad ended, the Dukes of Ghislaine converted most of the rooms to closets. Storage is timeless.
It's been too long since we've traveled together. I've missed it.
Aw, you missed me.
It! I said I missed it! Ugh.
Let's look for anything that explains why the Kunari came here before we go. A note about an unknown intruder coming through an alluvion. They turned spirits against us, then fled.
A mage? They must have fought their way out, then let the spirits finish off the Kunari.
Two parties then. The Kunari, and a mystery agent determined to stop them. Come on, we have to warn people about the Kunari's designs on the Winter Palace.
One dead Kunari was bad enough. Now we have more, and they're hostile.
This makes no sense. The Kunari may not be friendly to the Inquisition, but they have no reason to attack us.
They also have no reason to be here, or using Illuvians at all.
I've had the mirror placed under guard for now, Your Holiness.
Cullen, please just call me Liliana.
Yes, Liliana.
It appears the relative peace and quiet of the last 2 years is coming to an end.
First the Blight, then Mages and Templars, then Corypheus, and now this. Can't we go 10 years without the world falling to pieces?
We must ensure that the Kunari do not disrupt the negotiations. The Exalted Council is in a very delicate state.
I'm certain you can soothe the nobles' ruffled feathers while we solve the real problem.
Not when the Inquisitor insults everyone present by walking out in the middle of the talks. Our only advantage is that Orlais and Ferelden are divided in goal and grievance. If they unite against us, Divine Victoria will have no choice but to support their claims. We could lose everything.
I know we're asking a lot of you, Ambassador. I promise we won't make this any harder for you than necessary.
My apologies. I will attend to the Exalted Council.
And while Josie does that, we will investigate.
We, Your Holiness?
You do, Josie?
I'll head back to the crossroads. We need to find out what the Kunari are doing and why they attacked.
And I'll have a quiet word with our honor guard.
Those Fereldans, always afraid to mingle. Thank you.
Look! More Kunari!
That path wasn't there before.
Maybe the Kunari figured out a way to make new paths.
So that's how the Kunari moved the paths.
That's a handy little trick.
Not precisely where we intended to go, darling, but still an amusing diversion.
There was a time where I went weeks without seeing a demon.
Those Kunari can't have gotten far. Be ready.
How would a mystical elven mirror lead here?
We need to find out what these Kunari were up to. So let's go see, shall we? Looks like there was a bad cave-in. Look at all that. The Kunari have a huge operation here.
But why?
I don't know why shit keeps falling down.
This place isn't stable.
Once again, your mark is glowing. Are you all right?
Well, maybe the anchor can make itself useful down here. The Kunari were definitely up to something. Excavating that cave-in, maybe.
Great. We're in the deep roads. I feel myself getting dwarfier by the minute. Did I just sprout a beard?
Yes, yes. You hate the deep roads and caves and the outdoors.
And Orlesians, Fereldans, Navarans, Mages, Templars, the entire Merchant Guild, Nugs.
Look, I have to complain, or you'll forget I'm here and trip over me. I'm providing a service.